he wants. I mean, I think he's got tremendous, very powerful. You know, people saw him when we recruited him, he had broken his leg as a junior. So now people had a lot of film on him. Then once we got him in camp, which really helped us, and we saw him stand up. You know what I mean? He stood up, because he always had his hand in the ground. We saw him stand up and run and change direction, do things. We knew he could be a linebacker. That's why I think camp came in, was a big advantage for us, for a lot of people who didn't see him like that. And then everybody tried to jump on him late. But I think he's got a great upside, very physical, very strong, good kid, work ethic, like I say, good core values and principles, and great family.
Jimbo, could any of those linebackers have the frame to go to defensive end down the road?
Possibly. I would say if any of them would do, Christian's got he's on the biggest frame. You know what I mean? But he's such a good stand-up guy, you know, in athleticism. But I didn't mean on third down you couldn't put him down there and let him rush, you know, put your ends inside and put him as a designated pass rusher and let him speed rush and do some things. I mean, he has those kind of talents. He has those kind of talents.
You had a lot of guys that were committed to you that down the stretch some other schools made a run at big time. Is it, being a recruiter, is it easier to chase a guy that you're kind of catching, or is it harder to sit there and try to protect?
I'd still rather, I'd rather have to throw him out of the boat than put him in the boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's easier. And once you get a young man to say, I do, you know what I mean, and I'm coming or whatever, I think it is a little harder to change, because obviously you've reached something and understood what he wanted to get him to do that. I would rather be in the front than behind.
Were you worried Monday about Telvin? Was it up in the air?
I was worried today. I was worried today. No, Monday, after Monday I was all right. It was Tuesday I was all right. It was today I was worried. No, and that happens. But we're extremely happy to get him.
Recruiting's always crazy, but was it more so this year, given Urban's change of heart? And then
you know, it really was.
Late in the game?
There was a little more drama in some different situations that occurred this time. You know what I mean? I think for their change of situation, our change in situation, you know what I mean, and just some different dynamics, I think it changed it up a little bit on both ends. They're a little more, you know, hopefully we'll get a good jump now and really get that class, most of our class done before it gets down to the end like it does.
With the change of situations, what do you think was the key to having such a successful class, especially after last year being kind of rocky?
I think the ability for our staff to not only, you know, you listen to what the kids want to do in recruiting, then they put in the effort, and to me, persistence. And the kids seeing that we were genuine. There's a saying I say, your acting speaks so loud I can't hear what you're saying. So don't just recruit me, show me you're going to recruit me. And I think our staff did a really good job of really putting in the time to get there to let the kids see the difference. And then I think once the new group come in, the way we gelled as a staff immediately, I think was a big key. Because I've never been around it quite like that on a staff where everybody jumped right in and it like we'd been on staff for 2 or 3 years together. Just kind of fed off each other right and left. Because you had some guys that had been in the business a while and understood it, that didn't get their feelings hurt or do this or didn't know what to do or hadn't been in these situations before. So I think that ability really helped us. And then what we were doing, you know, selling Florida State and where we went. And then we got the kids around. I'm going to tell you who else did. And it's understated. Our team did a great job in recruiting. Our guys, when we got guys here on the visit, I had guys who had been here in the spring, been around our players a little bit, or came during the season, been around our players. But when they came back for their official visit in December and January, and that's what I hated, the guys that we weren't able to get back on campus, I think we wouldn't have lost some of those guys if they hadn't visited early. Because our players, the attitude of our players, right now I'll say this, in the off season, the way we're doing things, the way we're going to class, study halls, we're like a different football team right now. And our team sold themselves to these kids and about the family atmosphere and what they wanted to do and how they wanted to win. And I think they did as good a job as our coaches of really pulling those kids in once we got them here and making them a part and making them feel comfortable and everything.
Which one of your players is your best recruiter?
There's 2 or 3 of them now. There are. I mean, there was some guys that every weekend, I mean, they jumped in. And, you know, the thing was funny. I would say to our recruits, well, you know, you're with, say, for instance, you were Greg Reed. Say, you know, one of the players was Greg Reed. And I said, would you see Greg? And maybe a couple guys said, yeah. And I said, who'd you meet? He said, well, I met so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. He said, Coach, I met everybody. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, everything we did, we were all together. The whole team was together. You know what I mean? And I think our team, again, was our best recruiter. I mean, it's the first time I've been here in 3 years that I heard recruits talk about, I met everybody. And I said, well, when we hung out, everybody was there. The whole team was there. We were in the dorm. We were doing this. We were doing that. And there was a genuine camaraderie throughout.
Was the processing different as a head coach, because this is your first go-around, in terms of, like, being the last guy to closer and that kind of that role?
Not really, because I was doing it on offense anyway. You know, we were doing it a little bit before anyway, in the way we did it. And, you know, I've been around, you know, I've been around Coach Bowden, who was a closer. Coach Saban was a great closer. I mean, even in the past, Terry was a good recruiter. You know, he could speak and do well in the home. You know what I mean? And I've been around some great recruiters and guys that have been around it. And, you know, been in enough homes to be able to, you know, think. And you didn't get them all. Heck, we all look to improve every year. But with considering the situations and what we did, I feel very good about what we did.
Had you ever hosted kids in your house before, done that whole thing? And what was that experience like for you?
It was good. I just got fatter. Got all the desserts. I kept dessert. Every time I'd open the refrigerator, there'd be a dessert in there.
Right.
So I kept beating. I kind of got to get them out of there. I got to figure out a way to get them out of there after they get out to get the kids
Eat 'em
out.
all.
Send them home with them, huh?
You can eat them all, that's what it is.
I did.
Do you, are there some more irons that are still out? I mean, you're at 23 with one more paperwork to be processed, I guess.
How'd you know that?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you're reading the sign too? You weren't supposed to read that. It's for me. You're supposed to keep your eyes straight ahead. So we got 23.
Peripheral vision.
That iron's not out there. It's just got to get it.
Yeah.
You know, just got to get it.
But I mean, that would put you to 24. Are there
That's what we'll
still? Is that where you'll be? You think?
Probably, maybe 20. It could be 25, maybe. You know what I mean? But I doubt we'll be right there.
So, good number. I mean,
Very good number. That's where we wanted to be. I mean, that puts us right up there, and a good number next year and a good number to work with. And
What were you short, Jimbo? What was the sanction for this year?
we're down to one. I think we're at 84. We're just one scholarship short. We had to go back to 84. We had to go back to 84.
Jim, I don't know if you addressed it. Have you decided on your recruiting coordinator going forward, going from Coley, who's going to be? Is it
Yes,
DJ or
it's going to be Damien.
Damien?
It'll be Damien. Damien will be the recruiting coordinator.
What qualities do you see in him that you think he'll be able to carry the banner?
Very organized, has good structure, relentless, great people person. Very much like Coley. We call him Crockett and Tubbs. That's what we call him. That's the name we had for him at LSU, like two peas in a pod. Now that I got them back together, I don't know if that was the right choice. But they're like two peas. They're very similar personality-wise, work ethic-wise, and all the things you do. And you know, good people, great people. You'll enjoy talking with them.
Can you talk a little bit more about the defensive lineman you brought in? There's obviously a position of need. Are you satisfied with what you were able to get?
You never get enough D linemen. Even when you get 18 of them, you never get enough of them. But I think Darius Cummings is going to be a tremendous player. I really do. 6'2", 277 pounds, extremely explosive and strong. And he's going to be a 290, 95 pound guy now and can run and change direction. McLeod's 300, 305, powerful, can run, played outside in high school, going to be inside, going to be a quick and powerful guy. Cameron Irvin's 6'5", 295, and I say this, he's a baby. I mean, he won't be 18 years old till next year when he gets here. I mean, he's still 17. I mean, he's going to be a big old joker. He can bend, he can run. And Damon Jacobs, I've said, he's 6'4", 6'4 and a half, 300 pounds inside, and looks 280. You know what I mean? He's going to be a 320, and moves, can bend, can play low to high. We had him in camp and saw him move extremely well. And then Bjorn on the end, who's another big guy, can do that, you know. And you keep forgetting, we got our young ends here, you know, are very good. You know, we keep worrying about that. I'm telling you, Dan Hicks, going to be phenomenal. Tajman Stevens can run and change direction. Marcus White's doing a great job. Brandon Jenkins, Lamar Jackson. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys right there that I'm telling you can play the game. And with these big guys inside and Bjorn on the edge, it gives you a big guy on the edge, another big guy on the edge. It can run and change direction. But you never get enough of those guys. I'm telling you. D lineman, I'll take all I can get.
Do you have a red shirt philosophy, Jimbo? I mean, some people like just do them all. Some people, what's your thoughts?
Best players play. I got to tell them, there's no age limit on winning. If you're a freshman, you can win, you can play, you play. You should play. We're in the job of playing the best people. And the guys at red shirt, I mean, and that is because the guy at red shirts doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player. Just the development, the change, the things that happen early in his career, where he's at. But no, I'd be bringing everybody in, letting them see where they're at, what they're going to do. Unless someone specifically says, I want to be red-shirted coming in, then we do that. You know what I mean? Or we've made an agreement like that with his family or something like that.
You were pretty young, though, this year even. This 2009 season, you were a very young team.
Mm-hmm.
You're bound to have a little stack up, aren't you, in some spots?
I hope we do. That means we got a bunch of good players. I hope we get to that. But no, these guys, that's the other thing. These guys will have a chance to come in and play. If they're the best players, they'll play. And they'll push our older guys.
Is there a number, in terms of academics, do you feel like almost everybody, or?
I feel very good. I said this the other day, what I'm excited about this group, we looked at them athletically, the guys we wanted, but I'm going to tell you, there's a bunch of,
I can't see that note.
good, see? I fixed that, didn't I? We're good, we're full.
Pass it around.
We're full. No, we're full. But I'm sorry, what was the
Yeah, just academics.
Oh, yeah, the way,